So together we're going to review your templates tab. This is where you're going to find proposal templates, whether you've created your own proposal templates or you're leveraging the provided templates pre-uploaded into the account. This is where you can find your terms, so your engagement letter that's going to be included in all proposals, and then your emails and messaging. So these are the messaging templates that your client will receive in their inbox and throughout the proposal as well. So if you are just getting started with your terms letter, in Ignition, you will have one template, and that's titled the Industry Standard Engagement Terms. These are terms that we've created for you, which have been legally vetted, so you're more than welcome to use it, but we definitely do recommend that you modify it and review it first, edit any company-specific information, and also have it reviewed by a legal professional if needed. So with your terms template, you no longer have to manually edit your terms every single time you're creating a proposal. Ignition will take care of updating client information and service-specific details, such as the terms, by using placeholders. So placeholders act as merge fields, completely automating your terms template with all the important information you need to include. The terms template is where you're going to set up your contract terms and conditions. Definitely worthwhile to review your terms template, make any appropriate changes as needed, and you want to avoid getting very client-specific here. You want to keep the terms a little bit more general in this sense. So a couple of things maybe to add and or update within your terms. If you've received any new content from your insurance carrier or attorney, feel free to make those changes. If there's a change required to any static data, such as a year, feel free to throw that in. Or maybe if there's any conflicts that you've experienced previously in the past, make sure to get those terms updated so that you can avoid it in the future. Then we have your email templates. So the email is the email that's sent to your client when you send them a proposal from Ignition. And it's actually their first interaction with Ignition and is a great opportunity to create a good impression prior to your client opening up the proposal. So within this template tab, this is where you'll find all emails within Ignition when sending communications to your client for different situations. There's going to be multiple email templates that you can leverage from and select from with specific circumstances and details. So similar to your terms template, you can also add placeholders here too. So it'll help personalize your email templates when sending them to your clients. And then just to call out, listed on this screen, there are 4 email templates that are most commonly used. And just to call out, finally, it is definitely important to update your email signature on each individual template, and I will highlight where to make that change. Just before we jump into a demo, messaging templates. So in Ignition, you also have your message templates. The intro and the next steps message will appear within the proposal. The intro message is going to be the very first thing the client sees when they open up the proposal. So this is great for personalization. Hi, welcome back, or we're looking forward to working with you. This is what to expect when signing the proposal. Whereas the next steps message appears at the very end of the proposal experience and is shown after the proposal has been signed. So this is often used to maybe guide clients through an onboarding process and to help them understand their next steps. You can also think about maybe hyperlinking a calendar. They need a discovery call or a kickoff call. Or maybe you want to link your tax portal. Hey, upload all your documents here. We can definitely hyperlink. So now let's pop into Ignition and we'll review the templates tab together. So when getting started with Ignition, probably a lot of the homework pieces are going to be in the service tab and the templates tab. So the terms tab here is where you're going to find your engagement letter. So feel free, we can always upload your own letter as well, but you can definitely review the industry standard. And then throughout this terms template, you'll also note that there's placeholders. So we have a placeholder drop-down list, and Neil also just added in the chat the resource article for all the definitions of the placeholders. But this will dynamically pull information from the proposal into this letter, so you're not having to change it every single time. Now we have our email template. So this is the first email that lands in the client's inbox. So I did call out to update your email signature. So I'm going to actually use the new proposal email. I personally like this one because it addressed some frequently asked questions as well. So you want to do this on a per email template basis. It's not going to be a general mass change. But one thing you'll want to just pay attention to is adding in your phone number. So add in your number here, and then just delete these brackets before and after the phone number. And then what we'll do is we'll link our website. I'm going to just remove that. And I just pulled this from Ignition app. And then there we go, and remove the brackets at the beginning and the front of that. So I'm going to go ahead and save. And now my signature has been updated on just that one. Okay. And then finally, we have our messaging. So I'm going to show you where everything pulls in when creating the proposal together, but we have our introduction message, and then we have our next steps message. I went in and just created an individual tax return next steps, which will attach to our proposal. But here I've hyperlinked our portal, and I've also just let the client know some additional information that they'll want to have post-signature. So now that we've reviewed our services and our templates, we're ready to go, and we can start building out a proposal. So I'm going to open up the proposal here. I'm not going to use one of the provided templates. We're going to start and build from scratch today. So first and foremost, we're going to title this proposal. I'm going to title this as the individual tax return proposal. And I'm going to set a 30-day expiry. So the client has a month to sign this proposal for their tax. Then I'm going to assign a client. Let's add in, you know what, I'm going to keep Space Ranger in this case. It will be Karen in this regards, but this is where your client will be with their contact information and email. Then we have the contract box here. So this is just, when does the work begin? So does the work begin when the client signs or on a specific date? Because it's tax, I'm going to start this January 1st of 2025. And I'm going to keep the minimum contract length set to 12 months. Step one, just creating the parameters of the proposal. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop into next and add in my services. So my services, I'm going to look for my individual tax return that I created. So I'm going to select that. And I'm going to build this as a one-time. I'm first going to select on acceptance, but I'm not going to bill the client right when they sign. I'm going to click this, and then I have my red banner. From here, I want to bill the client on January 1st. So in this regards, I'm going to select proposal start date, and then I'm going to save. This will adjust the billing date to start January 1st. So the client can sign today, but again, payment won't be collected until Jan 1st. Then I'm going to go ahead and click next. I have my payments on, they're required. These are coming from my general payment settings. I'm going to go ahead and click next. I have my service terms. So I only have my one terms letter in the account, so I'm going to select that one. But again, we have the placeholders in place, so it's dynamically going to pull information from the proposal into this letter. And then I have step 5. So this is where I can add in my intro message. Right now, I only have the one in the account, so that's the default that's pulling. There is an opportunity to add in an introduction video as well. And then we have our brochure. So if you do have any additional marketing pieces, or if our team has created a brochure for you, you can always upload that. I'm going to collapse this intro page, open up the pricing page. Now, typically, this show one-off and deposit services billed on completion, we definitely recommend keeping this as is. However, I do not want to convey to the client that I'm billing this on completion. I want to let them know that I'm billing this January 1st. So in this regards, I'm going to turn this off. So billed Jan 1st, 2025. I'm going to collapse that, open up my next steps, and this is where I'm actually going to flip over my general to the individual tax return. I feel good with that. Going to collapse that one. And finally, my email template. I'm going to switch this over to the new proposal email because that's the one I edited my signature. And then from here, the client will receive this. They know that it's expired in 30 days, which is December 12th if I were to send it out today, right? So I have all the email written and then signature looks good. Best practice before sending out your proposal is to pop it into a preview. Preview's up at the top there, and it opens up the proposal as if you were the client. So you're presented with your logo. Here is our intro message. So just welcoming the client, letting them know what to expect. We have our services, so for the individual tax return and the scope of work of what's included. We have our pricing page, billed Jan 1st for $250. Payment, this is where the client would enter in their payment details, whether that be credit card, ACH, or PAD. This is required, meaning the client cannot complete the proposal until both the signature and payments have been added. Then we have our engagement letter. So everything's pulling in accordingly, and I'm going to give this a quick scroll just to showcase our service terms. So the service terms that we added in for the individual tax return is populated at the bottom of this letter. This blue icon will be a little checkbox, check I agree to terms and conditions above, and then this blue box is where the client will type their name to sign digitally. Once signed, they can move forward, and here they're presented with their next steps. What's great about this page is the next steps also land in their confirmation email, so they see this message in both places. Now, finally, when we started this webinar, Karen pulled from a proposal template that she had already created. So before I send this off, I'm really happy with what I created. I've standardized my individual tax return. So what I'm going to do is actually come to the right of templates and save as a template. So now I can just give my template a name. This is internally facing as well. And then you can add in a description. I just copy and paste the name into the description, but you can go ahead and save that. So now you've also saved it as your own proposal template, so you're not having to start from scratch every single time. Finally, I'm happy, I can move forward and I can send. So step 6 just highlights who you're sending it to, and I can go ahead and send via email. And there you have it. Now, if I pop back to templates and I come into proposal templates, my individual tax return proposal is here.